What up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm joined by the one and only Ilya, who's a man of multiple talents and disciplines. All right, I met him on set, on background set, but he's been telling me he's more than that. Background is just his pastime. So, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, trying to keep busy, hustling as always, no rest for the weary.
Putting in the work. Let's get deep down into. So, I met you on set. Is that your main thing? What else do you do?
I started off as background when I lost my job in the pandemic. And then after like 1 year in background, I decided to shift into production assisting. And then after about 7 months doing PA work, I decided to shift into set decorating. So now I'm a set dresser, production assistant, and a backgrounder all at the same time.
Never met a set dresser. What do you think of my set?
I really like it. It's the first thing I noticed when I looked into the window. I really like the design and everything. I think it's quite chic.
Oh, thank you, man. It's a lot of value village, but anyway,
You know what? That's how I like it too. I like to thrift items and build something beautiful out of something that's already existed.
All right. What made you get into set deck? Like from all the.
I was desperate for that cash. Set deck is something that allows you to show your creativity, but also if you're ever in a pinch for extra money, it's that perfect thing because you don't work long hours. You're there before the set actually opens. You create the scene, and once you're done, you go home.
Yeah.
So the faster and better you work, the shorter your day is, but you get the same amount of money no matter what because you get paid per day.
Oh, okay.
So that was my motivation to get in. I wanted to get a job where I can just hustle, go home. That way I end up with more dollars.
Nice. Okay. And then you said set, PA. Everybody hates being a PA. What made you choose to be a PA?
Being a PA is interesting. I joined PA because that's where you get all the connections. If you ever want to join any crew department, you want to start off as a PA. You meet everyone. The directors talk to you. The ADs, the actors even talk to you. I remember one of my first shows, I was on Riverdale and Cole Sprouse and all of the other cast members, they actually started talking to me because when I was background on that show, nobody even looks at you. So then I switched to crew, and then you start getting all these connections. You save numbers, and these numbers become a key for you to make more money and level up. So after the beginning of a PA, I leveled up in the PA department. So now I'm a prepper and a rapper, which essentially is I come to set before everyone else, and I prepare the set as a offset locations. So I don't go to set anymore because that's the part that people don't like. Being a PA on set is like 15 hours of just you existing. You're the first one there, the last one to go home. You clean up garbage and all of this. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not fun. That because for me, like I want to be a director, and the first thing they tell you is you have two options: film school or PA. Jesus.
I would choose PA. Personally, I would choose PA because you learn everything that you probably would at film school, but you're getting paid to do it. You're talking to literally everybody. And it's a good way for you to jump into other departments while you're already on set.
Okay. Yeah. So you say PA, wait, it's three things, right?
Yeah.
Locations.
But locations and PAs
is the same thing. And then, so how did you get into the film industry? Where did you... What made you jump in?
Craigslist. So I saw this posting on Craigslist. They're like, we need like 2 or 3 backgrounds to sit on a bench. And so I sat on this bench. I almost canceled because I was offered to go and help at this construction site for a day. So it was either go and help these people with this construction gig or go and do this background thing. I never really knew what background was about. I said the background thing is way easier on me physically. I don't have to do anything. Thank God I chose that gig because I met this girl who's now one of my closest buddies here. And she told me, do you do background? Are you registered? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, do you have an agent? She gave me all of the information I needed.
Yeah.
And in that day, I went and I signed up for an agent and everything. By the end of the week, I had an agent. I had my first booking. I was set. And that's when my life just completely shifted. And then I took over the film industry.
In the film industry. A lot of people be like, I grew up wanting to be in the film industry.
No, I joined by accident. I literally walked into it. Every department that I joined was all a fluke. I had no experience in any department, not even set deck. I asked them, hey, do you need a body? They said yes. That was my first day. After that, they just kept calling me back.
Figuring it out.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing? What do they call it? Fuck around and find out. That's
Yes. And they found out. And boy, did I when I get given an opportunity, I want to put in the work and I want to maintain the connections because I'm a hustler. So I don't care if it's a night shoot or day shoot. I don't care if I need to work 18 hours in that day, which I have done. I will do it as long as it's worth it.
18 hours. What?
That 18-hour day was one of the worst days I've ever worked in film. It wasn't pleasant, but it helped me secure a good connection.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what I'm picking up from you is like the film industry is all about connections.
It's all about connections and hustle. How much are you willing to say yes to? Because if you're a yes man in the film industry, the opportunities will be popping. And if you're likable and nice, then you're going to have a good time as well. Like I brought my brother into the film industry because I saw it as a beautiful community to grow. And he's like a few years younger than me. So I said, you know what? Come join me. And then now I'm his connect. I can put him in any department that I work in. Yeah. And anyone can be just as successful if you know the right people and you hustle.
All right. And so today, what would you say has been your favorite set?
My favorite set, I really like the set of Grease, like Pink Ladies. I worked on that show last year as background for about 4 to 5 months straight. So much fun. Like you feel like you're back in 1950s. The food was amazing. Crafty honestly makes a set the best part. So the food was great. The vibes were great. I liked the budget of the show. If a budget has an expensive everything, like if it's a high budget, then you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So
avoid them hallmarks, man.
Honestly, I love hallmarks. I know a lot of people hate them. I love them because they're money-making machines for me. Because like a lot of people don't like it. So they go and pick people who want to be there and they usually pay you on permit. So almost every time you're on a union voucher with a long day, you work 15 hours, you go home with all that money. And usually, yes, the crafty is mediocre at best. Yeah. And the catering is actually decent most of the time. And then you go home, your day's done, and you're happy with the money you got in the bank. So it's worth it. The conditions can be questionable, but I think it is worth it.
It's like they can be questionable.
Yeah, wipe your tears with that cash.
Yo, nah, hallmarks, man. Like anytime I'm in hallmarks holding, it's like you're freezing. I know when the checks come in, I'm pretty psyched. Like I have the casting crew where they have the auto deposit.
Oh yes,
so it doesn't even
deposit is blessed.
And then you just wake up, you're like, where did this come from?
All from one day, you know.
Yeah, you're like this is nice money, but that's pretty nice. So do you have? Oh, I saw your thing on Instagram. You're into acting. Are you into acting?
Barely. I do some gigs here and there. I do photo shoots. I do like a little bit of like video shoots. When whoever wants me and is offering me a decent amount of money, I'll do it. I don't like speaking roles though. Yeah. Because I'm not an actor. I don't really want to be an actor. I'm very bad at memorizing things. So I just want like quick one word or a few sentences, or give me the script that I can read while doing the thing. And I can do a really good job at that. And that's it basically. I just want the money with as less stress as possible.
You're not about that. What do they call it? In front of camera.
No, not that much. I can like, if it's like a video shoot where it's mostly just actions without words, perfect. That's beautiful for me. I can do that.
Nice. You're the first, like I say, you're one of first. Like a lot of times I meet people, it's like, bro, I'm gonna be the next big actor.
Not me.
I'm gonna do this. I'm working in every department so that I'm working in every department so I can be, what do they call it? Maybe. I can meet the director and then
I'm trying to level up there.
But not for you.
Not for me.
That's amazing.
I'm just trying to get money
and
have a good time as well.
What you need the money for?
I need the money so I can build generational wealth and financial freedom for myself. That's most important.
You're the first person I've seen on the Instagram there, right? The frugal nomad. What does that mean?
Frugal nomad is someone who isn't necessarily cheap, but who does everything on a budget. And like I strategically save money where I don't feel the need to spend more, basically. I just do everything in the most logical way possible. Like I'm never going to sacrifice an experience for money, but I'm going to find the best way to, spend the least money doing it.
So you're saying that's not being cheap. That's being
finessing.
Finessing the system. And so you go on dates. Who pays?
I don't go on dates.
So you just cut it.
I mean, if I was to go on a date, which I think like I would probably pay if I'm the one who asked her to go out. It just makes sense. If I
Yeah.
ask you to go out, then I'm paying. But if you ask me to go out, then you should pay.
For
Or we
both
should
of you?
split it. Yeah, I mean, look, she's like, I'm minding my own business, and you're
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to go out to this place, and she chooses the place too, everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so I expect you're either gonna pay for yourself
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna pay for everything. But it wouldn't make sense for me to pay for all of it if I had nothing to do with this. I only said yes. Like,
Oh, I want to say yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Nah,
yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm all about the frugal living. It's a word that I used to live by until I met one of my exes, and they were like, "You are cheap. You don't do this." I was
Yeah, I
like,
used to be called cheap in the past, but I think people were just confused because they didn't yet understand my system and why I did what I did.
Mhm.
But I've never really been cheap because I like living comfortably. I like nice things. That's why I travel so much. You
yeah.
can't be cheap if you travel a lot. It doesn't make sense. The two don't add up.
Well, you can be cheap. You'll be traveling very cheap. You'll be like, I sit in economy. I'll fly the tiniest plane outside of wherever I'm going.
That's true.
Well-
I could see that. I have met some cheap travelers actually. So like, yeah, I could see how that could make sense. But that
is-
wouldn't be me because then it wouldn't be worth it. Like if anything takes away from your fun,
Mhm.
it's not worth it.
And speaking of traveling, when did you start traveling?
When did I start? I think I started when I was 15. My first trip
Mhm.
without like parents was
Yeah.
probably 15 or 16 with my sister.
15. How? Where were
Uh,
you going at 15?
Well, my sister is 5 years older than me,
Okay.
so she wanted to go on a trip with me, and I said, "All right, let's go to Bangkok." And so we did a little sibling duo trip to Thailand, and I was so young. And after that, I was like, "Yeah, I think this is my life. I'm ready for this." So every year after that, I just started traveling.
Travel. How many countries to date have you been?
I think I'm at 47. Yeah, I'm in the high 40s. I haven't
Bro.
recently counted the last few countries, but definitely getting close to 50.
Bro. And do you return to some of the countries or you change every time?
Many. I've returned to many. I basically used to live in Europe for like 2 years. So I like recycled countries again and again, which honestly, if I didn't do that, I would have already been at 50 and I would have visited more places. But
Mhm.
I just felt so comfortable and I didn't feel like I was traveling anymore. I just felt like I was existing and living.
Mhm.
So I didn't mind going back. I had friends, I had a community. So yeah, I basically would return to countries 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you what they call the backpackers or what type of travel do you
Yeah,
do?
I would say I'm a full-on backpacker. Like I've done all the weird things and crazy things you can imagine a backpacker would do. I hitchhiked basically cross country
Yeah.
for days on. I basically flew all the longest hours. I had an 18-hour flight. I also fly the budget airlines.
Yeah.
I trek from place to place.
Mhm.
All of it. I literally travel out of a backpack. I pack my backpack and then I have like a little carry-on pouch that I keep with me for like snacks and like passports and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's a
Whoa.
40-liter backpack and that contains everything I need. Even if it's for a 1-year trip, it
Mhm.
needs to fit in that backpack. Otherwise, it's not coming.
How do you sustain this life?
The hustle when I'm in Canada. And also while I'm traveling, I'm more or less conscious of how much I'm spending.
Mhm.
I already do a pre-budget so that I know, okay, when I leave, this is how much I need to spend based on what I saved from working.
Mhm.
I cannot spend too much. I need to understand how much things cost in this country that I'm visiting. And I try to actually live like a local so that I get the full experience. I don't even need to try to be cheap or on a budget. I just have to live like they do,
Yeah.
more or less, and I should be fine financially. If I try to live like a bougie Westerner,
Yeah.
then my money will be gone. And what's the point? Like I might as well have just stayed in Vancouver if
Yeah.
I was gonna spend all that money. So
Which countries have you been in Europe?
in where?
Europe.
In Europe, I think I've done 80% of Europe. So
Okay.
it's more so where haven't I been?
Where haven't you been?
I've not been to Scandinavia, not yet.
Ooh.
It's a bit too expensive for me, and I haven't been to the UK. No countries in the UK yet, for personal reasons. And and
What did the queen do to you? Or the king now?
honestly, what didn't they do to us?
Okay.
If we have to be real.
Yeah.
But also the pound is quite expensive, and it's mostly England that I just haven't been to. that I don't want to visit. The rest of the countries in the UK, I would love to. It's just it's too similar to Canada, and I just wanted something different,
Oh, okay.
and I wanted to challenge myself, and I didn't want to walk into another English speaking country. So that's why I did everywhere else basically.
Wait, so you go to non-English speaking countries. You speak these languages. How do you survive? How does this work?
It's that one, it takes a little bit of learning. This is where travel becomes educational because I have to prep for each country. I need to learn about like more or less how the country functions. I need to learn the language more, or like at least basic phrases, so that when I get there I can ask the right questions. I only speak three languages: French, English, and Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Spanish I taught myself because I knew that I'd have to visit a lot of Spanish speaking countries. So I decided, you know what, let's learn it. Let's become good enough that I can handle any situation.
Nice.
And but French and English gets me pretty far.
I can see that. I can see that. Wow. And any interesting stories from Europe? Because I'm fascinated with Europe.
With
I,
Europe,
I wanted to go to France last year, but anyway, something
Europe is
happened.
one of the best continents to visit. It's honestly, when you're there, you don't want to leave anymore because there's just so much fun to be had. It's so cheap. The people are so cool. The people are so much better than North Americans. And that is a fact. They're so cool, so intelligent, so creative, and they're so open minded. You can have such solid conversations with these people. And especially if you decide to go to Western Europe and then switch to Eastern Europe, it's a whole new world, completely different world. And even in terms of how much it costs, like Eastern Europe is like more than half, like cheaper than Western Europe would be. So if you want to live on a budget, go to Eastern Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite country in Europe?
Spain, Poland, and Romania. I think they are the trifecta for Europe.
Romania. Romania, we mainly know it from Andrew Tate, but what's in Romania that's so nice?
Romania has beautiful landscape, amazing food. The people are so cool, especially the women. They're like super nice, super chill, and they love like foreigners and stuff like that. And they don't meet a lot of black people. So a black person in Romania, you feel like a star. Everyone wants to talk to you. Everyone wants to be a part of your life. Their nightlife is fun. It's a very cheap country, so you're just living comfortably, and people are just coming to you, and they want to know all about
What's
you.
happening? What's the crazy thing that's happened to you in Romania?
Some guy pulled my hair on the streets because he wanted to know how it works, like how I could possibly grow an afro. And I think I was the first black person he ever met. So just people touching me on the streets. It was probably just a combination of just the weirdest things that happened to me there. But that's Eastern Europe in general. There are not many black people that travel Eastern Europe. Not even a lot of people travel Eastern Europe in general. So if you're black and you go in there, people are just gonna be staring at you all the time, and they're gonna be all up in your business constantly. So Eastern Europe was a challenge, especially because some countries you can't read the language, you can't speak it. So English and French out the window. You have to just like hope for the best and wing it while you're there.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy. And then Asia, you've been.
Asia is a dream. It's a dream. I went to Southeast. I did like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and like Indonesia, and it was just so much fun. Like everything's so chill. You generally feel like nothing else in the world matters. Like you're just floating, vibing. And since like I'm African, it really reminds me of being back home because it's like similar vibes with the street food. The very open, kind people. You can walk on the street and someone could ask you if you need a ride, and they'll give you a ride wherever you need to go. Motorcycles everywhere. So it's just very laid back, and it's perfect for someone who's coming from like Africa.
It's pretty nice. And I'm told the food is amazing in Southeast
Some of the
Asia.
best in the world. Some of the best, and it's so cheap. You can eat for like 5 to 10 Canadian dollars a day, and you can eat well.
Wow. So $5 Canadian, that doesn't buy you nothing. Doesn't even pay a parking spot here.
Yeah, here you get nothing. Over there, you eat like a king, and their portions are small, so you can eat like 2 plates or 3 plates.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah. And then what about the language barrier? How does it work?
Asia was interesting. The good thing is many of them spoke English in like the more touristic areas. The other ones, you just use sign language. When I was hitchhiking in Southeast Asia, that's where I thought it was interesting because I really had to use life skills to get by. I had to use reading, like people reading, and sign language to understand what was happening around me because no one was speaking a language that I understood. And I was meeting strangers, entering strangers' vehicles and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I need to trust in this person. Like, how well can I read them,
Yeah,
So,
just have hope. Don't steal me.
yeah,
Take.
yeah. The good thing is in Asia, you're often going to be larger than the locals because they're
So,
very short. They're very small people.
yeah,
So me coming there, I was intimidating for them. I was black and a pretty average height, so no one really was going to mess with me.
that's nice.
Yeah.
As I'm speaking to you, I'm actually remembering I was talking to another girl. She's a traveler.
Yeah.
That's what she called herself. And she's just like, yeah, I love traveling. I just disappear for the year. And then she was telling me she was like in Netherlands and stuff like that. So I'm like, wait a minute. I've heard this story. This is not the
Yeah.
first time hearing it.
You
And then
really
it's-
disappear.
yeah.
I've disappeared for like almost 2 years once.
2
I
years?
left for 19 months straight. And I was never supposed to leave for longer than 3 months. I booked a one-way flight and I changed my life. I took my backpack and I disappeared off of the universe. So much that I lost my like health insurance in Canada because I was gone for so long. And they're like, everyone was like, when are you coming back? I had no idea. I had no idea when I was coming back. I was just living.
Wow.
Imagine not working for 19 months.
That's why I'm like, how do you survive? How do you
Yeah, I just
do you work in these countries or what?
no. I volunteer most of the time. I
Yeah.
love volunteering in different communities. So I'll find a place where I can like provide them a service. In exchange, they give me accommodation and food,
Oh,
which is
okay.
basically everything you need.
Yeah.
If you could pay and figure out your own transport, especially if you're hitchhiking, then transport is free.
Yeah.
And then you just help them with whatever, and you're good. You go to sleep like a baby.
Can't believe. And then, okay, my favorite continent, Africa.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
In terms of travel, I've only traveled to Morocco. I did that twice. I went to the Sahara Desert one time. The second time I went to the Atlas Mountains and I
Yeah.
went quad biking. Morocco is also super cheap. It's super chill.
Mhm.
I mean, Morocco can be weird vibes because you don't feel like you're in Africa.
Yeah.
And you are recognized as an African, but it's not the same camaraderie. You're
Yeah.
not brothers, but you're brothers, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the vibe that I got. But it was mostly like pretty great experience. And
Nice.
other than that, I spent time in Ghana, I spent time in Ivory Coast and in Cameroon. But I lived there as a kid, so it was different
You've been everywhere.
a bit. Part of it, some of these countries like Ghana, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, and Canada, they were not my choice. Oh, and Russia,
Yeah.
these countries were not my choice. But I just made the best out of it.
What do you mean you're choice? Your parents were diplomats?
No.
Diplomats? How?
Absolutely not. I don't know. They just like to move a lot. Like for these African countries, they're pretty close to each other. And like my father used to do a little bit of business here and there. Also, my parents are very spontaneous people. So they would just wake us up and be like, we have to go.
Damn.
But they were not diplomats. They never had that much money. So I never understood how and what was going on. They just made moves.
Like, we
But
gotta
they all
move.
made sense at the end of the day. So
Well, that's pretty nice because you get to grow in different cultures and become.
yeah.
You are personally multicultural now,
Yeah.
living in a multicultural society. So I'm pretty sure like a lot of things that people like if you move to Canada, people are like, oh, I had a culture shock. For you, do you get culture shock or is it like, oh, okay,
Like,
this is
Like, do I get culture shock in Canada or just in general?
just in general?
No, I think I'm almost immune to culture shock at this point. Like at the beginning, I did because like Asia, the first time in Asia is so different that it took me a day to be like, what's going on? Europe as well, because it was so different for me. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. I need to, figure it out. So, and same with Latin America. My first day in like Colombia and Cuba, I was like, whoa, okay, this is something my brain needs to process. But
Yeah.
usually after like 24, 48 hours, I'm ready because I usually do my homework before coming.
Oh,
so
before going, yeah. So you know what you're
it
walking
helps
into.
me get ready. Yeah.
You've been to Colombia, didn't you get robbed?
No, Colombia was actually my most recent trip. I was
Nice.
there like 3 weeks ago. And yeah.
You just came back.
I just came back a few weeks ago. Yeah, I went to Cuba and Colombia, and
Nice.
Colombia was amazing. It was on my list for a few years. And it's very safe now. Like you probably won't get robbed at all. You're more likely to get robbed in Mexico, which is crazy because everyone goes to Mexico.
Yeah.
And the Spanish was pretty easy to understand. At this point, I was already semi-confident in my Spanish, so I had like solid conversations with people. And yeah, it was the best. Cuba was also pretty cool. I wasn't there for as long, but
Yeah.
it's a really weird country, a very, very strange country.
What
I don't think I'll go back. But
what happens in Cuba? Because I know isn't Cuba is banned. Okay, I don't know how it works, but I think at some point people are banned from even visiting.
yeah, I think it's difficult for people from the States to visit Cuba right now, especially because Cuba's been struggling. They don't get a lot of supplies
Yeah.
thanks to the US, I guess. But they're in like 1950, but they're also in 2008. These are like the
The
two
vibes.
states that they're in. Their vehicles are all really, really old classic vehicles, which is so cool.
Mhm.
But then everything else, like infrastructure, internet, is like 2007, 2008.
Whoa.
Like sometimes you don't have internet, sometimes you don't have electricity, sometimes you don't know what's happening at all. Neither do they. The supermarkets are empty. Empty. You go to a supermarket and maybe there's like a pack of eggs,
Yeah.
some milk, and just like every shelf is half empty. It's so strange. So like if you go there, come with supplies already.
Oh.
Or
Okay.
just don't stay very long because you might just like not have a good time unless you just stay in nature. Like I was staying in nature for most of my time, but I didn't have internet the whole time that I was there. Some hostels would give you internet, but often you have to pay to have internet.
That's me.
Yeah, there's no free Wi-Fi in most places.
Whoa.
Even the airport, no free Wi-Fi. I had to pay for internet at the airport because they almost refused to let me leave Cuba.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, I had to
How's-
buy a flight in the airport to be able to leave Cuba and be able to go into Colombia.
How's that experience? What are you thinking when you're going
It
through
was
that?
horrific because it was the first time I've been through that, I think. I
Mhm.
think I'd been through something similar, but that one was the worst because I was in a country that I desperately wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And I already had my flight and I really wanted to go to Colombia. And they're like, we won't let you board this plane unless you buy a return ticket from Colombia to somewhere else. And then I was like, why though? Nowhere does it say that I have to do this.
Mhm.
But they gave me no choice. So I did it in that moment. I had to go. I bought some internet. I had like a little bit of emergency Cuban pesos left on me
Yeah.
in case something would happen, which of course something happened.
Yeah.
And I used my last Cuban pesos to buy internet and buy that flight and board my plane. Crazy. Yeah.
Whew,
It's
yeah.
honestly the reason why I ended my trip early because the ticket I bought was for January 5th. And I actually did not really want to come back January 5th.
No.
Yeah. So otherwise I would have been in
Just-
Latin America longer.
She'll be on a South American tour. Like,
Yeah. I usually buy one-way tickets. I never buy a round-trip flight. I buy the one ticket and I just see how things go. I come home when I'm needed. Otherwise, why would I come?
bro, needed by who? Do people know where you are at? Like, let's say you're in Cuba. How do your parents or your family get in touch?
In the past, when I was a little younger, I used to not really keep people up to date. I often use Instagram to let people know if I'm alive or where I am. But I can be really bad at that because everywhere I go, when I post it, it's already happened in the past. So they don't actually know where I am or what's
At that
happening.
point in
They knew
time.
where I was. So wherever I am now, I could be dead by now. So so like it's difficult because you're always on the move, you're doing stuff. I try to keep people up to date, especially now that I'm older and I have more to live for. I like to, let people know.
Bro,
what's up.
that's terrifying. If I was your parent, I'd be like,
Yeah. I went months without speaking to my family while I was on a trip. I think the longest I went was like 9 months of no sign of life for 9 months. It wasn't on purpose, I think. It's just life was happening and nobody questioned or asked anything. So
it's rough. I don't know what, because like my sister gave birth and then she had I have a nephew, and then like I was like I get it, the love that parents have for a kid. I'm like, I get. All right, boy, if anything, because like he'll be active and then he gets sick,
yeah,
it's like your whole world stops. Like, just function,
right.
Just
I thought about that after the fact. I'm like, the people who love me must be so terrified because my lifestyle is very like crazy jam-packed, especially because when I travel, I put myself in situations that to most people are risky. Like hitchhiking is a risky thing. It's nowhere near like easy. Like there's so many parts to it, and sometimes it ends badly. And even just being a solo traveler, especially a person of color, it's genuinely dangerous. And it's something I need to be aware of before I leave. And other people need to recognize that I might get killed because I'm Black in a country where I shouldn't have gone,
Yeah, but
This happens.
but I thought you do your research. You know where not to go, no?
I usually know where not to go. There's some countries where I like to push the boundaries a little
Just
bit.
go
Eastern
to-
Europe, I really pushed the boundaries. I went to
Yeah.
countries where they did not expect to see me there, and I was very on edge. But everything went well because I wanted to be an example for other Black people. I wanted to be a representation of what can be possible. So I was like, if
Yeah.
I can go and have a good experience, that changes the game for us.
Yeah,
So,
and then even for them, because I feel like
And them,
sometimes
yeah.
it's like, yeah, this is a scary place to go. Do not go there. But it's more of like, well, no one has ever gone there, so no one
Exactly.
really knows.
imagine meeting your first Black person and it's me. And,
Yeah.
and whatever like impression you have of Black people is based on the experience you had with me. If I could set that tone and give them the best experience possible, that changes their whole perspective. you know?
Yeah.
Maybe for the whole city.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
then they're gonna go and tell their friends and their friends, and they take pictures with you and everything. So it affects everywhere. So the next Black person they see, they're excited instead of like scared or
Yeah.
on edge. So
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm envious of Colombia, man. I want to go. I have different reasons for going though, but
Yeah.
anyway.
I know, I understand. I see.
Colombia, Argentina, I'm coming soon.
Yes,
Have you
yes,
been to
you'll be there.
Argentina?
Not yet. During the World Cup, I was honestly so hyped because I watched the World Cup final in Colombia with a bunch of Latin people and a bunch of Argentinians.
Yeah.
Such an amazing experience. I wish I could have just bought a flight the day before and just gone to Argentina.
Yeah, that
Would have been a bad investment if they lost though. But
Or you tell people you speak French. I don't know what they would have done to you,
Oh
but
my gosh. Yeah, I did not speak any word of French any time that I was really around Colombia. I met some French people, but
yeah,
during the World Cup, I was like, no French for me.
no Spanish. I need to learn Spanish. I have a friend like from Mexico and then another one from Guatemala. And whenever I'm with these two people, it's a terrible experience. It's like they'll be talking to you. So this. So para. Like, man, what the?
Yeah.
Then they go, oh yeah, sure.
It's still hard for me. It's so hard to understand when two Latin speakers are speaking Spanish to each other and then you're there and you're still learning. So you're just like you're paying so close attention to them and you only understand maybe like 50%.
But that's pretty cool. Still,
They
like,
change their tempo when they speak to someone who's not native.
yeah. And they speak fast and they speak loud.
And they use all the slang they could possibly imagine. And then you're just left in the dust.
One time I was like, are you guys okay? We're not fighting. Okay. I just saw your vocals go up.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I think it's so fascinating, though, because like if you speak more than one language, you probably have a different personality in each of the languages you speak. And a different side of you comes out. And even the tone of voice you use. And I feel the same way with French and Spanish. I'm a different person. So
that's nice. And then what's the other continent? Have you been to Australia?
No, never done Oceania or Australia. None of it. Super expensive, and it's English speaking. And I love Australians, but I just don't have that much interest in going there.
Anti-English. Yeah,
I'm very much anti-English. Yeah,
he's anti-English. Okay, I don't know what this British people did to you, but
except for colonizing my country. But.
it's everybody. Yeah, it's everybody. We can so relate. Well, I'm here to invite you to Zimbabwe. You know what I mean? Like,
I would love to.
When you're in Africa.
Maybe next year? Or this year, 2023?
No, 2024.
2024.
Because we have elections this year, so go in 24.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
is your Google search in advance. Go in 24. After elections, I don't want, you're black, so
Yeah, true. Let's go after elections.
yeah,
Elections
they don't know. They don't know if you're black. So it's like,
Yeah.
why you're not speaking our language? You
That's
opposition.
true. Yeah.
But when you're there, go to what's it called, Victoria Falls. This is the second largest waterfalls in the world after Niagara Falls.
Okay.
What else can I do to sell you this place? We have the big 5 animals in Africa.
Ooh.
You get to experience them. They can eat you. Like
I love that.
Like they are not domesticated. They are wildlife. It's
See, I already wanted to go to Zimbabwe, but now I want to even more because it's like
pure wildlife. Don't get eaten. Don't take selfies.
I'll try not to.
Anytime anyone is eaten by an animal, we know it's a tourist.
Yeah.
We know taking a selfie.
Yeah.
And they don't play. I just saw a video like this guy, what do they call them? Trophy hunters.
Okay.
So he kills a lion, sets up his camera, him and his girlfriend or somebody, set it up, They take their photo or video. He runs to go see the video if it played, and then this other lion comes through.
Karma. I tell you. Listen. Like you said, mess around and find out.
Mess around and find out. So yeah, next time when you're booking your flights, think of, there's no way you can go to Zimbabwe without going through South Africa. So if you like partying, South Africa is like the home of.
And it's visa free for Canadian citizens.
Visa free, I think. Yeah, for
South
Africans.
Africa, Zimbabwe, I'm not too sure. I don't remember, but South Africa for sure is visa free.
Visa free. Oh, Zimbabwe, they like money, so I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't want to say, but so you're a Canadian citizen.
Yeah.
And you denounce Cameroon or no?
I didn't have a choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys don't have dual citizenship?
No, we don't. Shoot. Cameroon makes you give it up. So,
anyway, you see, you should have been Zimbabwean, but anyway,
should have been a lot of different things.
But
I was almost French. That would have been cool.
Oh yeah. Damn.
European citizen. Ooh. But I would have been living it up.
So you prefer Europe from North America?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. 80% more.
Yeah. Huh, I should, because the only place I've been in Europe is Germany. I didn't even do much. I was just in Frankfurt.
Germany is very strict, you know.
Yeah, but
it's fun.
Nice.
But yeah, strict. But Europe is definitely better. Yeah, very much so. Everything that at least for my lifestyle is perfect. Yes, it's true. I wouldn't have done film if I lived in Europe, but who cares? Like I would have been.
You'd have been the Game of Thrones and all that stuff.
I would have been doing other cool stuff. I would have been doing events probably. People love to attend events and have fun. So
there's those events that host is in Belgium, on the islands and stuff, like where you disappear for 3 days and you just at a party.
Like by Spain. Like,
is it Spain?
Ibiza.
Yeah, stuff like Ibiza.
Islands.
Yeah, there's one that I always wanted to go. What's it called? Electro music, like
Tenerife. Electro music.
Yeah,
I think Ibiza is probably one of the biggest ones for electronics.
Because I think it's in Belgium, the place.
Belgium.
Or like an island near. I don't know if there's an island near Belgium.
Belgium have an island?
I don't know. So. I don't know, but
yeah,
it has something to do with Belgium. Yeah. You know, because they host it and then it's like a 3-day event. You go in, then so it's not Belgium. I don't know, but it's like you're on an island and then you just disappear for those 3-4 days.
I like the idea of that.
Every
if someone's looking for you, you know where to go.
Yeah, every amount of drugs, drug, because I was told Belgium is the capital of drugs. So you know people
for Europe, interesting.
For Europe, and you know that they'll be there. They'll be fun. Everything is there. It's like people just disappear there. I was like, I always wanted to go there as a kid. That made me want to be a DJ because a lot of these young DJs, that's where they made their names.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, damn, Europe looks so much fun.
I know a cool place in Belgium where you can disappear if you want to disappear.
Where?
It's this cute little, I call it a sanctuary. It's this cute little town where you live on a massive acreage where you basically just chill, do yoga, eat vegan food. And it's like a castle or a palace. It's a very old ancient palace in Belgium. And they give you bicycles. You can go around. It's like a fairy tale experience. You just live there, do yoga, chill. And you're living with other people. It's basically a closed community, and the rest of the world doesn't exist to you. You just vibe with those people in the community.
Man, I'm envious.
For free.
You
don't pay for it.
What?
It's free. That's what I mean. I was like, if you ever want to escape in Belgium, I got a place for you. You live there for free. You just have to be a part of the community. Maybe help with cooking or help with cleaning. But it's like a massive palace.
It's wild.
And there's a few of these places around Europe that you can live for free. That's what I'm saying. If I move to Europe, I can live for free. I don't need to worry about money or whatever. The capitalistic side of me is North American side of me. The European side doesn't care. I can just float. I can vibe.
Just living life.
But I got to take care of the fam. I got to take care of that generational wealth.
That's the thing, man.
Then I can go and escape in Europe. And in Europe, finding a girlfriend is not hard. It's easy. People actually want to date you. People look at you for the value that you bring and who you are and your intelligence, and not just how much money you have.
It's not a hustle.
It's not about the hustle. There's no games being played.
Yeah.
It's the more intelligent and interesting you are, the more prospects you probably have. So it's a vibe. I never have a problem in Europe. I just live, bro. I just enjoy life.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Asia too. You can escape for free and just chill.
You're making me want to go, because I swear, last year I was supposed to be in Europe from October to the plan was October to April.
I would have convinced you if you had talked to me before. I
Yeah.
would have been like, you need to go
You need
right
to
now.
bounce.
You need to
Yeah.
go.
I was like, because my friend is like, let's just give the landlord notice. Let's just
Yeah.
put our stuff in storage and
Yeah.
disappear out there.
I did that before. Yeah. It is worth it. I mean, sometimes you come back to Canada with nothing,
Yeah.
but you could always start from fresh. And
Well, that's the beauty about Canada is like you can start like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Background, 2 weeks,
yeah.
you already have
Especially
your
when you
money
work in
back.
film, you could literally leave and come back and you won't really miss anything. Just jump right back into wherever things are at.
That's,
You know?
that's pretty nice. And then you told me that you have a nonprofit. What's your nonprofit about?
My nonprofit, I started this, I think, right after the pandemic. Basically, there's two portions to it. I help communities in Cameroon, specifically outside of Douala, and I provide them essentials. So for example, December, we donated money to an orphanage where we bought them food and supplies that they needed to get them ready for the Christmas season. So I think there were over like 20 kids at this orphanage. And so basically my goal is to just like provide for the communities in Cameroon and get them whatever supplies and things they need. And I raised the money through my books that I wrote, because I wrote some ebooks so that I can sell those books, raise the money, use the money to get all the stuff sent to Cameroon. And everybody wins. Whoever buys the book gets to read interesting content, and then whoever gets help with the money, their lives might be potentially changed forever.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. You write books. What do you write?
I've written 2 ebooks so far. One of them is called Black Reality. It's about my experience as a Black man just living throughout the world in relation to like what it's like to be Black as a traveler, what it's like to immigrate to Canada and assimilate to the community. And my other book is basically a travel hack guide, setting people up who want to travel in any style they want, how to do it on a budget, and how to make it possible. So those are my 2 ebooks. They're very short, quick, and to the point.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
You're not writing, well, when I was growing up, I used to dream about traveling. You're like, okay, where is the part where I make the budget?
Right. I'll probably add that stuff in there somewhere, sprinkle a little bit of pizzazz. But then, at the end of the day, I know that people like quick content. So I try to make it like 35 pages. So you can read it in one day and be done with it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
amazing. So you're hosting an event. What's your event? Is it in line with your organization?
Yes. Yeah. So basically, I'm starting to get ready for the next donations that I want to make, and this one's going to be big because I want to help out the schools that are needing toilets, tables, chairs for their classrooms, and so I'm going to need a lot more money. So I decided to host a fundraiser where we're going to have performers, DJs. There'll be dancing. There'll be vendors. Just basically an all-out fantastic event where people can come, have a good time in a safe space, not in downtown, and where their money, the ticket that they purchase can go towards all of these funds that we're going to provide over to Cameroon. So I think it's the best case scenario where it's like, I want to have fun, and I think we should start 2023 in a good way.
Yeah.
And so everyone should come, have a good time, pay for a good cause. Win-win.
So do you go to Cameroon to see, or you just send them?
It's been hard since the pandemic. Before, like, I wanted to be able to physically be a part of what was happening, but then I'm like, it's not really about me. It's about them. So I set up my connections. Like, I have my uncle who's like physically making sure everything gets to them. My mother, who's like the middle woman in the just, so she connects with my uncle, gets the money, sends the money. Uncle takes care of it. Basically, I execute. I tell them where it needs to go, what needs to happen, and how it needs to happen. So I'm basically a one-man job. I do everything from the beginning of the nonprofit all the way to the end. And like the other part of my nonprofit is to help people of color in Vancouver find job opportunities. Sometimes I physically give jobs to people in the Lower Mainland, like because I have connections on the crew side. If they need extra members, I go into I have a Black community on Instagram. I go into the group chat. I text them, hey, who wants work? This is the pay. This is the hours. Who's available?
Wow.
First person who, reaches out, who's qualified, gets the job. So because I think it's an important thing to try to level up your own community. So
that's pretty amazing. When do you get time? Like you're pretty busy.
That's the thing. If I'm not traveling, I get bored very, very easily. Like I get very, very restless if I'm not abroad. So when I'm in Canada, I just like to keep busy. And I also like restructured my purpose for life after the
Okay.
pandemic. I was like, I need to really figure out what it is that I want out of this. And it was to be able to help as many people as possible and be as much value as I can be. So I decided if I got free time, let me help people find jobs. Let me donate some money to Cameroon and help these communities grow and all of these things, because at the end of the day I'm also building a legacy for
Yeah.
myself. When I'm no longer here, I want the life I live to have been worth something.
How do you get to this point for your life? Like, what was your childhood like for you to then? Because it feels like you came full circle, right? The
I
way you're
really
speaking about
did.
it.
I really
How?
did.
What's the journey like?
It was a struggle. It really was a struggle. Like I'm almost feeling like I'm a starter from the bottom type story, and I'm still not at the top, but I'm like kind of moving my way. Like
Mhm.
my family, we hustled, we grinded. Even to immigrate to Canada, it was just a grind all the way through. We were really poor, and then we went to like middle class, and then at one point we were like privileged enough to have everything we needed.
Mhm.
Then we went back to being poor. So I know exactly what it feels like to have nothing and what it feels like to have almost everything. And the fact that I was lucky enough to immigrate and
Yeah.
be given an opportunity to live like a full life,
Yeah.
I was like, at some point, I need to start giving back. I need to start providing something to everyone that provided something for me. And I need to remember where I came from, because if I don't remember where it all started, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I got to a point, I think I would say last year, where I was like, I think I'm old enough and I think I am responsible enough to start doing more with my life and start being more valuable to people. And that's when I kickstarted the nonprofit and put it into full execution. And I was like, okay, let's write, let's give content, let's help people here and help people there and help
Yeah.
people everywhere. And at the same time, I can help myself because I
Yeah.
also want to have the best life possible for me.
No,
So
yeah.
it's like kind of like a two-sided thing. I'm like I need to balance living the best life for me, but
Mhm.
also helping people. Because for the first few years of adulthood, all I did was travel the world, which is fun. That was my dream, and I
Yeah.
loved it. It's an amazing life. But then I'm like, I need more. I need to do more because it's not can't just be about me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm having fun, but when other people around you that you care about are not happy, you just got to do something different.
Respect, man. All right. So this part of the podcast, this is a standard that we have
Yeah.
whereby I ask you questions that I was given by a 7-year-old who was my nephew.
Oh, cool.
He says my questions suck, so he sent me podcast questions.
Nice, nice.
All right. Be warned. These are tough questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So the first question is, for what in your life do you feel the most grateful?
I feel the most grateful for my health, honestly, because I'm a pretty healthy person. And without that, a lot of the things I was able to do so far, I wouldn't have been able to do.
Yeah, without health, what do we have, man?
Mm-hmm.
That's valid. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
I'm going to choose a safe answer.
All right.
More education, more development. Yeah. For like within our family, I think. Yeah, just a different approach.
All right. Respect that. Respect that. That's the safest answer. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
Oh
to
my
date?
God. Today, I think being able to almost travel to 50 countries before the age of 30, like I'm 25 now. And I think
Wow.
it's crazy that as a Black African immigrant, to have almost visited 50 countries is an underrated accomplishment.
That's wild.
And to do it without being rich, I think says a lot about
Yeah.
what's what's possible.
Yeah.
So that probably is my greatest accomplishment.
I feel like it says a lot about what's possible, but it says a lot about yourself, like the willingness just to do it. Because I feel like a lot of people will be like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
African, I can't go nowhere.
It's really harder than it seems. Like
Yeah.
it looks fun and all that, but like the prep work and the mental toll it takes on you to get to these places and the kind of things you need to go through, it's a lot, but it is worth it. Yeah.
It's amazing. 25. What was I doing? Never mind. What do you value most in a friendship?
In a friendship, I value loyalty and someone I can count on. And this is something I struggle in Vancouver because I don't think I have that. I don't know if I can trust enough people who I can really be like, when I really need you, I need you to be able to have my back. That's what I value the most.
Yeah, I feel. I feel you on that one. I feel like when I was back home, I had friends where I knew like that's my boy. Like I don't even have to think about it. It's
Yeah.
like
Where they always got you, you know.
Yeah.
Like you start a new project, they're like, I got you. You need help, they got you.
yeah. And I feel like that's the African thing though, because
It
in
really
Africa
is.
it's like people just like, can you do? Yeah, I can do it.
Mhm.
Are you sure you can do
Right.
it? Yo.
Yeah. They want to help you first,
Yeah.
ask questions later, you know.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be about, oh, but what do I get out of it? It's more like, how can I help you and how can we help each other, like, you
Yeah.
know, grow together. So,
Yeah, we'll figure it out once we do it. All right.
Mhm.
And the next question is, what does friendship mean to you?
Ooh, I feel like this is like right off of the last question.
Yeah.
Friendship means someone that I can really like build with, someone that I can move forward in life together, almost like a partnership. You know,
Mhm.
when I'm down, you got me, and we can like lift each other up. When I am pursuing a passion or I need someone to just like push me to be better, do better.
Yeah.
I need the friend to be there to push me to do better, be better, because that's what I'm going to be doing for them. You know,
Mhm.
yeah, bring me good vibes, but also help me be better. Call me out when I am not where I need to be in life. When I do something wrong, call me out.
Nice.
That's a friendship right there.
Hey, yo. Ilias friends, call him out. I know
Call me out.
you've been holding on.
I need friends. I genuinely need friends.
What do you mean you don't have friends? You work in a world whereby you're surrounded, okay, fine, by a lot of people.
I need more friends here. I think that's a better question. I have friends, but
Mhm.
I need friends in Vancouver that I can really like lock in and be like, you are in my community.
Yeah.
I will take care of you, but I also need to feel like they'll take care of me.
Take
And
it,
like, I feel like there's a disconnect there
Hmm.
with Vancouver.
Yeah, that's interesting. I did a podcast about community,
Mhm.
and the guy was just talking about like it's crazy how in Vancouver we're so divided, but then it's like everybody feels it, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, how do we connect? Because it's like
Yeah.
everybody's seeking that connection, right?
Mhm.
But for some reason we still remain divided.
I think some of these people are actually frauds. Some of them will say they're seeking it, but they're really not. Like
Yeah.
if you're really seeking it, you're gonna do something about it. So if everyone can't be on the same page, someone's
Yeah.
lying.
Yeah.
Somebody's lying.
So I'm like, it's pretty wild. Like I'll walk out, I don't even know my neighbors' names. I'm like,
For
damn.
real.
Like you can be my neighbor and I see you in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
It's crazy how many people like don't care as well. It's like I can't believe like you didn't care. Like you'll do something for someone, they still won't really care that much about you, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
it's the culture, man. It's the culture.
it's wild though. But I'm like, I can't be the only one who feels weird. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, when I'm looking at my neighbor, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're wondering what my name is. Because I'm
Yeah.
wondering what your name is. But
Right.
I'll just
At
pass
least
by.
like learning about their backstory. Like who is this human? Like what are they
Yeah.
about?
It's wild.
Yeah.
All right. What's something people seem to misunderstand about you?
Me.
Yeah.
People misunderstand me. I
Oh,
think.
you in general?
Me myself. That's something I feel like I've struggled with for a while, especially the first few years when I was trying to decide who I was and find my own identity. I didn't have one. And then before the pandemic, I started getting one, and it was like all about travel. And then during the pandemic and afterwards, I was like, oh my God, who am I? But also the way people perceive me. Because I'm a weird dude. I'm
Yeah.
different. I'm odd. I don't do things the way other people do. So no one really understands me, and people often don't take the time to try to understand me.
Yeah.
And I think that creates like a separation where there's all that disconnect, and people just assume things.
Yeah.
It's like, just get to know me genuinely. Like sit down and talk to me. I'll tell you whatever you need to know, kind of thing, right?
Take your time before you judge me. What's the
Mhm.
song? I don't know. I'm forgetting. It's a T.I. song. If you could turn back time and talk to 18-year-old, if you could turn back time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell him?
This is honestly one of the most important questions that changed my whole life.
Mhm.
Because when I was 18, oof, life was not fun.
Yeah.
That's the year that I lost the most and decided to turn my life upside down. So if I was 18 back, like knowing what is happening now, I would have said, stop, don't do it, leave, omit, abort, mission before the mission even started. Because I wasted like almost 2 years of my life because of the decision I made. And it was all related to post-secondary education, which I have an opinion on.
Yeah.
And it was just big regrets, lost a lot of money. It wasn't great. I did things for other people rather than for myself. And it cost me. Yeah.
What you mean? You didn't want to go to college, or you wanted to go to college? Which is which? Where do you
I
stand?
thought I wanted to go to college, but I didn't really want to. I didn't feel the need. For me, I like logic. I like doing things that make sense for myself. And it wasn't making sense for me. It wasn't me. I didn't know exactly what I wanted and which direction I was going to go with it. I was way too young to be making this decision. I should have just chose the travel route from the beginning because it would have brought me probably where I am today, but years
Yes,
earlier.
yeah.
So, and I would have had more money. So I
Yes.
think I
All right.
made this mistake.
I get that. I get that. What is the best compliment you have ever received? We've been to 50 countries. I'm pretty sure you have 50 compliments.
I actually don't receive many compliments. So this doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
I think there's two that stayed in my head.
Mm.
There's someone who I think they complimented me on me as a being, like me as internally. They're like, you are like a really like, I think, I don't know what they said, but they were like, basically they were telling me that I had a great soul. Like I had a
Yeah.
great personality or whatever. And then there was another person, this guy, I don't know why I remember this compliment, but I thought it was so funny. He like stared at me, especially when a man compliments you. He
Yeah.
stared at me and he's like, "You are beautiful." And I was like, "What? Excuse me? Hold up. Pause. We need to leave this room right now." He said that and like all of me dropped. Everything. I was like, I don't even know what to do with myself right now.
Yeah.
And he was so serious. This was like around many people. So that's one way to make a man feel uncomfortable. Call him, stare him in the face and just call him beautiful. And like mean it at 100%.
Yeah.
And so those are the two things that I was like, wow. Because I think he meant not even just physically. He was just like, you're a beautiful human, like, genuinely. And I was like, it's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, how do I come back from that? So
Yeah. Well, yeah, I keep telling ladies, if you're listening to this podcast, if you ever want to shoot your shot at any man, compliment them. Because most guys don't even know what to do after
we
that.
genuinely don't know
like,
what to do.
oh, wait, what? Like, I know a girl who came to me, she's like, I like your shoes. I'm wearing shoes. Oh, shit.
These ones? Really?
Yeah. And then she just started a conversation. I didn't even know what was happening. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's what you just did.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, some people, I know women will be like, you should just say hi. I'm like,
I barely even know that people notice me, honestly. Like, like especially in Vancouver, where people barely look at you. I'm like,
yeah.
they don't even know I'm here. Like, I'm just,
Like,
I float in the background. Even though I'm loud, I float in the background. So.
Nah, this man is lying. He's the hardest person to miss. Because when you're on set, the dude is talking to each and everyone. Like, how does this guy know everybody here?
Yeah.
Somehow.
I don't know.
See? So next time you tell yourself I'm here in the background. Nah, we see you.
We see you.
What is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
School. Dropping out of school was my biggest failure. Not high school, post-secondary education. That was my biggest failure. And what I learned from it is you can accept an L and bounce back. You can take a loss and make the best out of it and recover quickly.
That's pretty nice. All right.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give someone who wants to pursue a life similar to you?
Similar to mine. Whoa. You need a lot of patience. You need to just be mentally strong, genuinely. Like, and you need to just like have an open mind to everything and look at life through a back road, more or less. Like, don't look at the path that everybody else is taking. Just like sit down and just build your own path. See what makes sense for you. Be creative.
Yeah.
Do something different, but don't do something different for the sake of being different. Just be like, what would be fun for me? Look at life as a game and make it fun, because that's what I did.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Life is a game.
Life is a game until you die.
It's like until you die on those streets.
Yes.
In a different world.
Do your estate planning to prepare yourself for your death. I need to do that.
This question will probably vibe with you. What's the difference between being happy and being content?
Oh my God. I've been struggling with that for a while. Being content is being in a place where you've done your part. You've brought yourself where you want to be, and you're just chilling. You're willing to just, coast, vibe with what you got. If life ended that day, you'll be okay. You'll be chilling.
Yeah.
Being happy is more so, I think, something that's like in the moment, where you always want to be doing something to keep you happy, because when you're not currently happy, you're probably content. So that's I think that's how I feel. Like when I'm actively traveling, that's when I'm happy.
Yeah.
When I'm living, like probably living in Vancouver, I'm content. But you know what? What? I'm content, but I'm actually not happy. So you can be happy and content, and you
Yeah.
can be content and unhappy.
Oh,
So
I like that answer.
yeah.
What things get better as you age?
Um, I it's a good question. Wow. Maybe I don't even have an answer for this. Well, considering I'm not very old, I think I'll base it on when I was a teenager to now as an adult. I think life, life gets more interesting because you start caring less and less and less. You start
Yeah.
understanding more and more what it is you want and what you don't want. So life can become just more fun. You don't have to worry about all the little things that is happening. You just worry about what it is you need.
All right. And from all your travels, what's the most valuable things you think everyone should know?
Know how to understand people, know how to understand people's perspectives and like their background. Give people respect of their existence, you know. I think that's really important because there's just so many humans, there's so many of us from all over the world. Everyone's got a story,
Yeah.
and you should take some time to like listen to people talk because you could honestly learn from them. They could help you, they could change your life, anything. These it could be a kid even.
Yeah.
You never know. So
Okay.
give people a chance.
All right.
Mhm.
So then, okay, that's okay. I have his final question. I'll ask you at the end, but this one is more of so when a guest comes, they leave a question for the next guest who they do not know.
Oh,
So it's just a random question. So the last guest said, when you die, what do you want your family, your friends, and your community to say about you? And what are you doing to make them say that?
I want everybody to know that I tried. I tried the best as I could. I put in the work, and I hope that it was all worth something. I hope that after I'm gone, that everything I did can still continue to bear fruit. And I want people to know that I genuinely put myself on the line always.
Oh,
And what am I doing to make that happen? It's clear. Everything I do in my everyday life, my nonprofit especially, that one is strictly for the community to make a difference when I'm gone. And my chase for wealth and finance, the most of the reasons why I learned about money, why I'm so passionate about finance is for the fam. And I want them to be set. I want to be one of the first people in my family to create generational wealth. And that's gonna happen one way or another.
with that,
So,
respect that. And the fortunate thing for you is there were two people in that podcast. And the second question is, what have what have you done or will do to safeguard this planet?
what will I do to save this planet?
Yeah, safeguard this planet.
Oh, I mean, look, I want to say I'm doing my part. Okay, like I'm pretty minimalistic. I'm a thrifter. I don't buy new clothes. I like to reuse things. I don't waste food. Like I'm very environmentally conscious. And even in terms of eating meat, I don't eat that much meat. So I think I'm doing my part. Is it gonna save the planet? Probably not.
Yeah.
But at least I tried to help save the planet.
Okay.
And that's it. And then I'm gonna die, and that's gonna be less humans on Earth.
All right. And then this is your opportunity to ask the next guest a question. So any question you have, someone you do not know.
Why are you here?
Okay.
Yeah. What is the reason for you existing?
Okay. Well, I like that you brought that up. Keep it in mind. All right. So then the next question is there any question that you would like to be asked that I did not ask you throughout this podcast?
I think because a lot of people struggle in Vancouver in terms of money, I would love to jump into the finances part of everything because it honestly ties everything together with how I was able to do most of what I do, and and Vancouver is expensive, so
The first question will be, how do you survive in this city?
yeah.
How do you make money?
How do we make money?
Yeah.
So, like, how do I make money?
Yeah, no, not how you, because we know how you make money. You already told us. But I'm saying, like, from a financial perspective, a lot of people are struggling, speaking of that. Like, we're in a recession, and I think Vancouver
Times are real tough.
Yeah, times are real tough, and it's Vancouver. That's like times 10.
Yeah. When I moved, I used to live in Langley, which is, When I moved to Vancouver, I knew that if I came here, I would hustle till my death
Mhm.
because Vancouver is no game. And basically, I wanted to be financially literate. I wanted to learn how money works, learn how to save money. And so I'd go on YouTube and listen to podcasts and everything. I do budgeting. I budget everything every week, every month. Um, Most of my money, every check that I get,
Yeah.
70%, like after I take out like what I need to pay at the end of the month, straight into my savings and investments accounts immediately. I don't spend past my essentials. I don't even spend that much for casual things. I put like 5% for casual things because my fun money is used for travel. It's not
Yeah.
used to be here because here is too expensive. So instead of spending money to have fun here, I just move the money and spend it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I just focus on the essentials. My rent, which I managed to lower my own rent because I live in a shared house. I'm the house manager, so I could live almost for free.
Oh,
I
nice.
get like 50% off my rent and I get my own basement suite with my brother. So that's a one way to like have cheaper living. Some people don't like to live with roommates. So
Yeah.
what I suggest for that is get a suite and make half of the suite that you're renting a business expense. Like what you're doing right here, this
Yeah.
podcast, 50% of that can be coming back to you and help you pay down your taxes.
Yeah.
So at least, at the end of the day, it makes that suite less expensive. And in terms of transportation, take more transit, homies. And if you're not in a transit zone, buy an economical car. You don't need to drive something bougie. Just buy it.
Yeah.
I drive a very I drive a mom car actually right now, and I kind of want to sell it because part of me is like I don't know if I want to be seen in this mom car anymore.
Yeah.
I drive a Toyota. It's chill. It gets me where I need to go.
Mhm.
And like I only drive when I have to drive. I don't drive to run errands or anything. If I run errands, I run errands after work because it's
Okay.
already a tax write-off
Mhm.
and I'm driving home from work or to work. I don't do anything with the car if it has nothing to do with work because my car is a
Yeah.
business car.
Right.
So that's how I cut down costs. And if I don't need the car, I take the train. And then in terms of cell phone, I buy an affordable plans, $35 a month.
Mhm.
It has every single thing that I need on that plan. I turn off my data when I'm not using it.
Mhm.
And then because I have like maybe 4 gigs of data a month. So I
Yeah.
need to really like allocate it. And that's chill. And groceries, just don't eat out. Like it's just not smart. Don't eat
Yeah.
out. If you're gonna eat out, eat at affordable places and use discounts. Always use discounts. Always go eating on your birthday because it's free. And work on film because you get free food all the time. So just go, even if you just want free food, just join any department and just do nothing and just eat food, you know? And I
Yeah.
just, I also like investing my money. So
Mhm.
I, a lot of what I do is I try to push and allocate my money to places where I want to invest so that I can grow the money because it's not just about saving, it's about
Yeah.
making that money grow without you doing physical labor. So that's like my next goal. I want to get into real estate. I'm into stocks, but not enough to be a stock expert.
Yeah.
I just dabble a little bit. And real estate is going to be like my one path and avenue to that generational wealth. So
Making money.
yeah, so I'm gonna buy a house and I'm gonna try to buy more, but it won't be in Vancouver. I can guarantee you that.
Why are you hating on my city, man? This is the
You just can't afford it.
most expensive city.
Yeah.
Like-
Alberta though, that's a different story. But like, because you don't have
Yeah.
to live in the place that you own, like it's more of like a fairy tale story to say that you live in a house that you own. I mean, if you live in Vancouver, just rent sometimes is cheaper and easier than actually owning a place here.
Yeah,
But
well,
then
yeah.
you can own a place in Alberta or Saskatchewan or something and then put renters in there and you're chilling.
You're just making that. What do they call it? Passive income.
Passive income. Yeah. Hire a property manager, hire a really good realtor. They're gonna lock it down for you.
Mhm.
Just make sure you have the money that they're asking for and then get a good deal. Make sure your house cash flows so
Mhm.
that every month you're not actually paying anything. Your renters are paying for everything
Mhm.
and you get given a little bit of money extra at the end. And then recycle that strategy. And if you want, do some renovations on your house so that there's more value by the time you need to like refinance or sell it, the house grows in value and boom, there you go.
And, all right. And then in terms of financial literacy, if I'm just a kid growing up, how do I find information? What do I look up? How do I know this is the right information?
I think that part's hard, but honestly, going on Google and going on YouTube and Spotify podcasts or Apple podcasts are the best. If you just type literally what it is you're trying to get better at. If
Yeah.
you want to save money, type how to save money, how to budget your money, all of these things, because this is what I started doing. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I could do this. Budget your living costs. That's how you start, and then budget your spendings and everything, and then learn how to finesse the system a little bit
Yeah.
if you can, see which government programs you could take advantage of, see which things you could get discounts for. Like my bank, I was on a student account for so many years, like so long.
Yeah.
And I think I stopped being a student after like the fourth year or something. I don't know. Things like this. And like if you can find a way to get creative to get the things you need to do, like buy things secondhand. That's one of the biggest things that I recommend. Just don't buy things brand new. It doesn't make sense unless you really, really need it.
Yeah.
And you really love what it's offering, like quality wise. But I buy almost everything secondhand, and it saves me so much money. Like this jacket was like $15, and it's nice. Like it does everything I needed to do.
Yeah.
So life doesn't need to be expensive. You can live a bougie life, but do it like in a frugal way,
an affordable way. We live within your means, they say.
Just like travel. You want to travel, do it. Just make your budget. Pick a country you could afford. Like don't go to like Iceland or something and try to like live at $20 a day. Like that's gonna be hard. But you pick a nice country, do your budgeting, go there, and know exactly what you're spending your money on, and come back. Often, like my last trip, I think was like 3 days worth of work, and I was gone for 3 weeks. That's a good exchange.
Yeah.
Think about how much money you make a day and how long you want to travel, because that's the thing. Time is money. How much time are you taking away for what you're doing? You're going to spend $300 on a bag. How many hours did it take you to make that $300? Is it worth it? That's a good mindset to have when you're about to spend money on something.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I guess my question for you, but you say you don't pay rent, it will be how, when you travel, because last year I was supposed to travel,
Yes.
but then I was like, if I leave, I have to pay rent and I have to leave wherever I'm going. How do I plan this in advance? And then I was just like, you know what?
So there's two options. For me, I'm kind of getting partially screwed because I don't know if I'll have this option next time I travel, but you could sublet. Some places don't let you sublet. If you're in a place where they don't let you sublet, what I recommend is rent your room as a storage space. If you have, let's say you have a roommate and you trust them, they can execute that part for you. People can rent put their expensive whatever equipment or whatever in your room. Just store away your valuables. Make enough space in your room. Rent that space as storage to somebody to cover your rent while you're gone. Your landlord doesn't need to know. Just cover it. Maybe they need to get cheap insurance in case that building goes on fire or something. But that's a good way to do it if you're not allowed to sublet. Yeah, that's what I would suggest to people.
All right, take that. I respect that. Because I thought about it. I was like, okay, I'm not going nowhere. Because it was like, if we leave October to whatever,
it's a lot of rent.
It's a lot of rent. So we just thought, just cancel the lease and go.
Canceling lease can be hard, right? It's like you could try to like force the landlord to let you sublet and hope for the best. But it's like that's the worst part. You're not giving a lot of options, especially if you have a job that's not flexible. I used to quit my jobs before every trip. I would generally just stop working and leave, and then come back with no job. So it's not the smartest option. So try to get a vacation from work, or try to tell them that you need to go on like a sick leave or a mental break. They'll ask, how long do you need this mental break for? I don't know. I don't know my own brain. I just need to go on a mental break.
When I'm healthy. And then like when you're in these countries, can you work, or it's a lot of them are like, nah.
See, I don't want to break any rules here. So I'm just going to say what won't get me in trouble. You can work if you, let's say you can get an online job. That's the safest bet. You can get an online job, get paid in your currency or get paid in US dollars. That's the easiest option. Second option is you can work under the table, which is risky. But you can do it. Third option is just volunteer. That's safe. Because like at the end of the day, it's not the money that you need. It's the, not spending money part that is good. If someone's offering you everything you need, then do you really need the money at the end of the day? You get the food, you get the accommodation. Sometimes you get the transportation. You're good. Take the job. if you like the job, you know.
Okay.
So,
And then the second from last question is, do you have a question for me?
yeah, what made you interested in pursuing film, especially film in Vancouver?
So for me, the main thing was growing up, I always wanted to be a music producer. So, but no one would invest in me because I have a single mom. My dad passed away when I was pretty young.
Yeah.
So for her, it was, I need you just to do something that makes you economically viable, and that's not music.
Yeah.
So she sent me to school, do the college 4-year degree. I finished it. I'm super depressed because I was working in marketing. I was creative. I just couldn't keep doing the same thing every day.
Right.
So then she made me choose because I always wanted an Audi A4. She's like, yeah, that's my favorite car. She's like, you have two options. For your graduation, I'll buy you a car or I'll buy you a ticket. One choice. I'm like, okay, ticket to where? She's like, you can go to Canada, you can go to America, you can go wherever you want to go to pursue your dream. That's the only thing I'll do for you. And then I was like, okay, I'll go to Canada. There's Drake. I'll go meet Drake. And then that's all I knew about Canada. There's Drake. And then we sorted it out. I went to school. Like, to come here, you have to go to school, do the whole paperwork that most immigrants have to go through.
Yeah.
Then I did that. And then when I came at the school I was at, they were shooting The Flash outside. And then I was a big fan of The Flash. Like, they shoot this here? Like, I was texting my friends, like, yo, you can't believe he's there. He's like lying down. Like, what the hell? And then no one else was excited, but I was super excited.
Yeah.
And then from then I was like, I want to be on The Flash just to meet Barry Allen.
Yeah.
That's my entire goal. And then I started going, I actually want to make films because I was just looking at it from outside. I'm like, oh, there are people with cameras there. I'm like, I can be the one directing The Flash.
Yeah.
I want to do that. And then I asked the guy who, I guess that would be the PA. He's like, oh, the easiest way to do this is be a background. I was like, wait, what's a background? He's like, you see those people around there?
Yeah.
Those people are background. I'm like, people get paid to do that? Like, I'll literally do this for free. Like, you don't have to pay me.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you will pay you to do it. Just go sign up. I went, I signed up, I came in. I saw first day, like, for me, there's something about seeing people pursuing their dreams, right? Like, when you're looking at these actors, they are working, but it's like they're living their dream.
Oh, for sure.
And then I'm like, man, this is, so for me, like, going back to the music production, I was like, my dream has always been to make music. And I'm watching another person pursue their dream. And then my mom having conversations, she's like, has it always been your dream to make music, or do you like storytelling? And I'm like, I like storytelling, but because I grew up listening to music, I thought I love music.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I like this, whatever this is. I like doing it. That's the long story of how I ended up doing it and getting into it. Just being a background until I was like, okay, I'm bored of being background. Like, I want to be active on set. I want to be able to tell people, you move here, because I see stuff when I'm on set. I'm like, yo, that's not continuity.
Definitely.
But then for some people, it's not just a job, right? Like, they've lost the passion of it. I'm like, I have the passion. I have the fire. So now I want to get deeper into it. And in Vancouver, it just happened. Like, I wasn't supposed to come here. I was supposed to go to Toronto. But I just ended up in Vancouver because me and my mom, we didn't know when we were signing up. They're like, oh, the school's in Vancouver. Like, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's 2 minutes from Toronto.
I wonder if that's what happened for me.
Yeah.
You just come here by accident. Like,
Yeah, that's the wild part. And then people are like, oh, Vancouver's closer to Hollywood. I'm like, let's make it work. And then you're here, you're like, it's not really close to Hollywood. Like, I've been here for the past 5 years. I've only been in LA in the connecting flight in 5 years. So I'm like, how do you say it's Vancouver's closer to Hollywood?
The flights are affordable, so it's possible. By flight, it's close. Otherwise, it's not close. Like, for $130, sure, you can go there.
You can go there and pursue the dream and whatever. But yeah, my goal now is just film. And like, soon, I'll be on set being a director. Being like, yo, Ilya.
Yeah.
What's good?
I mean, I could put you in contact with some people, but they're probably going to be like, hey, like, do you have crew experience, like, in other departments?
Yeah.
Because you should be a first AD. If you can get to a first AD, then you could be a director, I think, after a little while there. You could direct the low budgets for starters and then make your way up. Those are easy, I think. So
yeah, because right now I'm grateful. I don't know. I just kept on the internet. I found a film school where I'm going free.
Yes.
Like, they gave me a scholarship and all that stuff. I was like,
we like free.
I'll come through. And then they're like, once you get this, it gives you a credit or whatever to get the union of directors. And then that's where I was hearing about, you have two choices, film school or PA. PA, I've been.
Yeah.
I'll do it in the summer.
I mean, if it's free, bro, then you take the free option.
Yeah, like I'll do the PA in the summer because the winter I feel sorry for PAs, man.
I don't even want to do any PA work in the winter. Like I
Yeah.
know right now times are tough and we out here losing money, but still I'm like, do I really want to stand outside? Like how do I want to be outside in the winter? And I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah, nice.
Even background and any acting gig, I'm like, it's cold. The few times I've been on set this year, it hurts my soul.
Yeah, sometimes last year I remember I did one set where I don't know if I can say this, NDAs and all that stuff. But anyway,
The NDAs.
well, they're not watching. Godzilla comes out of the water, and then the water splashes onto the people.
Oh no!
So I was the people.
This was like last month, right?
Not
Like
last,
in December or November?
like December, November, and we had to do it over and over and over.
Imagine a non-union background, guys.
Bro.
Getting paid non-union to get wet
Get wet.
outside.
Bro,
Sounds
that
horrific.
was the worst experience, and I was like to myself, "Is this money worth this?"
In that moment, no.
Yeah, I'm like, if I was an actor and this was my job and we're creating this picture, I'm like, I might do it. But at this point, I'm only here to get paid. Like, I don't really care about
true.
this. So I was like,
That's the thing. When you're only there to get paid,
yeah,
everything you do needs to like be feel like it's worth it.
yeah, it was quite painful.
The way I see it, if I'm at work and I'm not getting paid enough,
Mm-hmm.
I will find a way to take my. I'm taking crafty. I'm
Yeah.
taking all the food on set. I am eating my money's worth right here.
Yeah.
Because you're not paying me enough. So I'm taking this stuff home and I'm saving money on groceries. Period.
Oh yeah. And for me, that's what I'm just like, mentally, I'm just like, yo, probably this is the time to start thinking about doing something else.
Yeah.
And just being whole within myself.
Yeah. You feel almost empty when you're doing background. I mean, it's fun. If you're with your friends, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise, often, even if you come to set with things to do, like you're working on your thing, you could easily get distracted. You go home, you've done nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing except make some money.
Yeah.
For doing
but
nothing.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like sometimes I reflect, I'm like, I've been doing background for the last 3 years. What have I done with my life? Like when you're speaking of generational wealth and stuff like that, well, I'm like, how much have I contributed to what I'm trying to build with this? And then I'm like, I like the experiences.
It's hard though. It's hard. I question myself all the time. I question myself right now. I question myself. I woke up today. I'm like, I don't even think I'm worth anything. Like, am I good enough to do anything? Like, am I actually going to get what I want? Because some days, the hard part about our lifestyles is you wake up, you can get rejected a lot.
Yeah.
You get so many rejections, especially on a show that you really want to work on. And even like for me, since I want to get into business, I get rejected from business offers that I really want to pursue. And they're just like, no. Yeah. And then you're just like, you put in all the work, you do all the math, and to not see the results.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Take it on the
It's
chin.
almost like a girl coming to you and be like, I don't want to be with you at all. You're ugly. I don't like you. I will never date you. Period. That's how it feels when like you get rejected from like work or business profession offers. It just eats at you.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Yeah, that's the most
Takes a lot of will, right?
painful. For me, one of the most painful stories, I've never said this out loud, but I don't know if you've been on Scriptures. Did you do Scriptures?
Yes, twice.
Okay, so when Scriptures was shooting, growing up, I was a big John Cena fan. The biggest, like world over. Nobody would compete with me. I get Scriptures for 1 week. I do the fitting, everything. I do first COVID test.
Oh no.
Second COVID test, they're like, you're positive.
No.
You cannot be on Scripture.
No.
I didn't know. So the good thing is I didn't know what Scriptures was. And then it turns out to be a false positive, but I cannot do the show anymore. 6 months later, my friend is like, oh, I was with John Cena. I'm like, yo, John Cena where? On Scriptures. Bro.
That's
I was
my goodness.
It's like, either this is the universe going, if you meet him, you get fired, because I'm probably just going to freeze and die and be like, fucking John Cena. But then to be told that, I was just like, I think this is the most painful thing. Like being told
Especially
no.
false positive.
Yeah, I was like, being told no doesn't hurt. And that's what started this podcast. Like I ranted about it. Like
You're like, I'm so mad. I could have met him.
Yeah, I could have.
Instead, this guy got to meet him.
Yeah, everybody else gets to see him.
Even me.
Yeah, I'm like people probably don't even care about the bro. Like they're,
Oh
they're
my
like,
God.
okay, who's
Yeah, I
this
didn't
guy?
even know he was gonna be there. I showed up to set one day. I'm like, is that John Cena? I look at the call sheet. I look at him. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I've met some insane people on set, like
Yeah.
where I was like, how are we with these people right now? Like, I think like Vancouver is an underrated film industry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we meet like some big dogs.
It's crazy. Like I remember my first time it was Sandra Bullock. I was like, Jesus,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
She has normal. She has no makeup on.
Like who's like the biggest star you've met on set? You would say
For me right now, it would be Sandra Bullock.
Sandra.
Yeah.
Sandra's pretty cool.
And you?
I heard. Honestly, Beyonce's mom is up there. I think Tina Knowles is
Yeah.
like top 2. I met Diana Ross's daughter,
Tracy.
Tracy. Yeah, I met Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah.
Actually, like last year. That one for me was like, oh, because I love Black people
Yeah.
so much. And meeting the Avengers boys was cool. I met Mark Ruffalo and Ryan Reynolds, and I met Jeremy Renner. All 3 of them, and I was like, oh, and like close, like this
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Ryan almost basically like shoulder bumped me during a scene because we would constantly have to cross each other, and I was like, you know what? If I get knocked down by Ryan Reynolds, I'm chilling right now. I'm okay. But like for me, I didn't really talk much to Mark or Ryan or even like Jeremy Renner, but Tina talked to me. I was like, Beyonce's mother spoke to me.
Yeah.
And Michelle Williams, they were both there together. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Wow.
Michelle kept like talking to me. And then Tino talks to me. She's like, oh, you know, good job. Like, enjoy the rest of your night. Like, so chill. I'm like, you are the queen of the queen
Yeah.
right now. You're talking to me.
Yeah. That'll be wild.
It was crazy. So
Sheesh.
I felt very blessed for sure. And
That's-
then Cole Sprouse is a really cool dude too. I really like meeting him. He's everywhere though. You see him everywhere.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm almost used to seeing him, but he's like my childhood super fan. So the first time I met him, I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
That's the thing about Vancouver. I remember what's her name? Speaking of Beyonce, Kelly. I did a show,
Rowland?
Yeah, Kelly Rowland. I did a Christmas show for her.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. So for me, I'm a big Beyonce fan.
Yeah.
So no one else impresses me if it's not Beyonce. And then Kelly Rowland walks in. The entire background, like it was like all Black people.
Yeah.
They were all like, Kelly Rowland. I'm just going. Like it took me a minute to be
You're
like,
not Beyonce.
Yeah.
Though, so
yeah, my brain had to process would be like, but still, this is Kelly Rowland,
it's
bro.
Kelly Rowland.
Like shit, this is Kelly
The
Rowland.
Kelly Rowland.
They're like, wow, this city is wild for that. Like
Right.
it's crazy the amount of people you can meet. Even like I used to work in IGA downtown, a grocery store.
Oh, the downtown location?
Yeah.
Ooh, bougie.
And then there's people after acting and whatever going home, they'll
Yeah.
pass through the IGA.
Yeah, sometimes they want to stop.
I'm going, Barry Allen. My workmates are like, oh, this is every day, bro. What are you doing? Keep working. I'm like, do you not see? Like,
Yeah.
the guys, where can I find this? I don't know, sir. What do you mean? Like, you literally were stalking it. I'm like, yeah, but you're a big deal. You're a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm not big. You're a big deal, man. But,
Yeah, like it's crazy when you meet them and start talking to them. That they're so like down to earth and
Yeah.
chill, and like most of them. Some of them you're like, okay, you know that you're top, you know, and you're gonna act like it. But most of them are like super cool, and I'm like, wow, if I was worth like all these millions,
Yeah.
maybe I wouldn't be so chill. Maybe I'd be a little bit more like, yeah, I know who I am. Yeah.
But I feel like this city humbles you, though.
Yes.
Like, the people in Vancouver feel like they just don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what your values are. Sometimes people, if they don't want to care about you, they won't care about you. That's just. And then some people get way too much recognition. Like it's unbalanced. Some people get like all the attention for no good reason. It's like, how? Like, what does this person bring value for? They just exist. Meanwhile, they're next to them is like someone of high value.
Yeah.
They're just like whatever.
Yeah, Vancouver as well. All right. So the final question is, what is the meaning of life
Meaning of life for me
for you?
is to have a purpose that fulfills you, to give yourself a reason to like exist, you know? And also it's like, for me, I want to be on this earth to have a good time. I want to have fun almost all the time, because if I'm not having fun, I don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. So I want to get my goals to be accomplished. I want to meet people, travel the world. I want to live a full life so that when I die, I want it to be like a movie that somebody wants to watch. If someone could watch the movie of my life, I want it to be one of the best movies out there. I want it to break Billboard records, you know?
Yeah.
Be like, damn, that Ilya movie, oh my God.
Yeah.
Kept me on my toes. He was living it. That's what I want out of my own life. I want to be always kept, you know, moving and grooving. And yeah, that's for me the meaning of life, but also like doing as much as you can to help as many people while you're also doing the best to be successful. Because I know I'm going to be successful. I know I'm going to have money and all these fun things. But what I don't know is how much I'm going to be able to make a difference. And that's the part that's like, oh, I guess we're going to see.
Respect. All right. Before we let you go, please share with us one memorable experience you've had in your travels.
Oh, good or bad?
Good. Something so that we can all look forward to.
Oh God. Okay.
Traveling.
I think one of the coolest thing I did to this day is I hitchhiked across Europe, basically from one side of Europe all the way to the other side. And it was crazy because I think I was like 19 or 20. And the journey was like by myself too. By myself, I went country to country. I even went to the border and had to cross over. I met all these people, had such great conversations. It took me like, I think a whole day to do it, which is insane that you can cross almost the whole continent in like 24 hours. And then by the time I finished, I was like, this is crazy. And I think I spent like $30 through all of it because like I just got food along the way, whatever. I was like, wow, so much is possible in this world.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the most challenging thing I've ever done by myself, but I put myself out there. I'm capable of so much now after doing this, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that was really like a cool travel experience. And it really set the tone for more trips and more accomplishments.
That's pretty impressive. Cecilia, thank you. Any final words for the people? The floor is yours.
Thanks for having me on this podcast. I would love to do more stuff like this. You know, I talk a lot, obviously. So I would love to be a part of the community any way possible. If anybody wants to reach out to me personally, you can follow me on Instagram at Ilya_Tekeng. I have all of my projects posted on there. If you want to be a part of my nonprofit, you can also contact me through there. If you have Facebook, my Facebook is Ilya Tekeng. And reach out. I would love to connect. If someone has a lot of money that they would like to provide me, that's fantastic as well. I would love that. I'll literally be your chauffeur. I need money. Yeah. So send it my way, please. Send
it Tyler Perry. I've been talking to you every time I pass here. See, I have another black man to invest in.
Send him money too.
Send money.
Us money.
Send us money.
We need help.
Yeah.
If you help us, we help the world. So technically you're helping the world.
Definitely. Calling you out, Tyler Perry.
Oh my God,
and
Tyler
Oprah.
Perry, please. Oprah.
All those people with all these billions. Like, what you going to do with those billions?
Invest in us.
Invest in the youth.
We have so much potential to give.
Definitely.
Yeah. If you don't have money, but you want to still help us, help us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be our friend. You know, you see us on the streets, say hello. You know, help us grow. Share our content.
Definitely. Say hello. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to the channel. All that
YouTube stuff they say. Subscribe to the channel. What do they say? Like, leave a comment.
Like, subscribe, comment your favorite thing from this podcast.
Yeah.
If you're listening on Spotify and Apple, then, you know,
just leave a review. Leave a review.
Yeah.
And definitely let me know which countries you guys have been to that he mentioned. 50. He didn't mention all 50, but where have you been?
And I mean, I'm not a travel expert, but I'm close. If you have any travel-related questions, just, again, reach out to me. I can help you. If you want to really finesse, I can help you finesse. So I am quite good at finesse.
You know, he's African when he's using that word, finesse the system.
Yes, I'm an African. You know I know how to finesse the system.
You got finesse
legally,
the system.
I legally.
Legally.
Yes.
Yeah, if you do get caught, I know lawyers.
He's got lawyer connections.
I'm not a lawyer. I can be a lawyer. Like, listen, you just need someone to represent you. We'll make it work. Finesse it.
If you want tax advice, I could be your guy.
That's the dude.
Yes. He's your guy for lawyers. I'm your guy for...
Yeah. Keep the CIA away from me. You know what I mean? Keep the tax man away from me.
Yes.
He's coming through in what? 2 months in April?
Yeah. Oh yes, April. I'm actually looking forward to it. I love tax season now.
Yeah.
As a business, as a small business, oh yes, tax season is great because I get money. So
Okay,
I need to pay anything.
I need to talk with this man offline because I need help. The tax man is on my ass. He wants his
Yes.
money.
Yeah.
All
You don't
right.
want to if you want to pay your taxes but still not have to pay money at the end of the year. Hit me up.
All right. Okay,
All right.
tax man. Do not come for us. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week.